Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're looking at a story of just raw, absolute transformation. We're breaking down how Dido went from a severely injured factory worker to a top-tier FX prop firm trader, managing massive amounts of capital based purely on his own skill. But his path there wasn't paved with finance degrees or fancy Wall Street internships. It started with a profoundly painful wake-up call.
To really understand Dido's strategy, you first have to understand the trauma that triggered it. Picture this. It's the middle of the night. Dido is working at a major automobile manufacturing plant, and his job is absolutely brutal. Every single day, he's opening, closing, inspecting, and polishing heavy car doors and hoods up to 200 times a shift. Suddenly, he hears this distinct, sickening pop inside his own body. In agonizing pain, he rushes to the emergency room, only for the on-call doctor to look him over and coldly deliver this devastating misdiagnosis. It's normal. The bone isn't broken.
Well, Dido knew his own body, and he knew something was very wrong. He sought a second opinion, and the grim truth came out. It was a severe fatigue fracture. That first doctor had totally misdiagnosed him. But the nightmare didn't end there. When Dido took this official diagnosis to his corporate employer, fully expecting support for an injury caused directly by his grueling work, they completely denied his workers' compensation claim. This was a shattering moment. He realized with absolute clarity that no matter how hard you work, these big organizations are not going to protect you when you fall.
Which brings us to part 1, limits and betrayal. So the crucial point here is that this deep, systemic betrayal pushed Dido right into a corner. I mean, here is a guy who dropped out of music school, admittedly struggles with math, and can't even read sheet music, but he craved an environment where his success or failure was entirely 100% in his own hands. And that drive is exactly what led him to the intense world of prop firm trading. Moving right along to part 2, the leverage misdiagnosis. To survive in these prop firms, Dido really had to master leverage. And he quickly realized that what the industry tells you about it is dangerously similar to that medical misdiagnosis he got in the emergency room.
See, the big myth is that leverage is this magic wand for wealth, like it's a free ticket to massive, effortless profits. No way. The reality? It's a strict risk amplifier. Think back to Dato polishing cars on that factory line. If he missed one single spot, the whole vehicle was flagged as defective. It is the exact same concept here. With high leverage, one careless mistake doesn't just cost a few dollars. It ruins the entire account.
And that brings us to the hidden trapdoor, the daily loss limit. This is absolutely crucial. It's the absolute maximum percentage of your account you are allowed to lose in a single day. If you hit this invisible tripwire, the firm instantly disqualifies you. So really, the massive leverage is the bait, but the daily loss limit, that's the trap. Let's move to part 3, the path to ruin, and see how this builds. Because without a serious mathematical reality check, this trapdoor absolutely destroys undisciplined traders. Just look at the maximum leverage offered by some of the major prop firms. You've got FTMO offering up to 1 to 100. FinTech is at 1 to 50. I mean, those numbers sound incredible, right? They make you feel incredibly powerful, allowing just a tiny margin to control a massive amount of capital. But you have to dramatically contrast those massive triple-digit leverage numbers with this one tiny, completely unforgiving figure, 5%. If your account drops by just 5% in a single day, it is game over. Done. Let me give you a stark, real-world example of how fast this actually happens. Let's say you have a $10,000 account. You get all excited by that 1 to 100 leverage and blindly enter a one-lot trade on the US dollar to Japanese yen pair. If the market moves a mere 50 pips in the wrong direction, which can literally happen in a matter of minutes on a volatile day, you will hit that daily loss limit. Your account will be instantly frozen and your challenge is failed. So how do you survive this? That brings us to part 4, sniper risk management. Dido designed a brilliant solution precisely because he is bad at complex mental math and absolutely refuses to rely on gut feelings. To take human emotion out of the equation entirely, he engineered this 4-step sniper system. It's incredibly systematic. Step 1, set strict auto stops. Step 2, adjust for asset volatility. Step 3, rely purely on visual chart indicators. And Step 4, maintain absolute discipline. The entire foundation of this system rests on Step 1. Dido hard-codes a maximum allowable loss of exactly 0.5% of his account balance into every single trade. There's no thinking about it, no calculating in the moment. It is a fixed, non-negotiable rule. And this brilliantly illustrates the genius of his simple math. By capping his losses at a strict 0.5%, he guarantees that he would literally have to lose 10 times in a row to hit that 5% daily trapdoor. He basically built himself a massive safety net without needing to be a math prodigy at all. Now, what about step 3? Remember how I mentioned Daito couldn't read sheet music in music school? Well, instead of struggling with the notes, he learned to rely on the visual waveform of the sound itself, and he applies that exact same logic to his treating. Because he wants to avoid math, he uses specific visual indicators on his charts. He uses exponential moving averages, specifically the 21 and 55, to actually see the market crosses perfectly. And he uses the ATR, or average true range, to automatically calculate his stop-loss width based on how rough or smooth the market currently is. He's literally reading the market's waveform visually. Which leads us to our final and honestly most crucial section, Part 5, the Sanctuary of Discipline. Because look, all those visual tools are totally useless with the ironclad mindset needed to survive. A mindset that Daito forged from being the only person holding a brutal kitchen or factory line together. To build that sanctuary, you have to avoid the fatal flaws of failed traders. Number 1, trading on gut feeling. Number 2, ignoring your personal weaknesses instead of systematically bypassing them. And number 3, blindly trusting official numbers without verification. Let's be real, trading on feeling is just as dangerous as blindly trusting that doctor's original misdiagnosis. Daito's entire journey crystallizes in this one core belief. You must not entrust your life and time to others. You must control it with your own hands. Unlike a corporation that denies your injury when you need them most, the market is a pure meritocracy. It rewards your personal discipline 100%. So as we wrap up this explainer today, I really want to leave you with one final thought. Are you going to let an organization dictate your worth and control your life? Or will you take the systematic tools we've discussed today and build your very own sanctuary of discipline? The choice is entirely in your hands.